Good morning, everyone. This is where I am starting my day. This is our freeze-dried strawberries. Nice and crisp. Very, very sweet. Definitely locked in a ton of the sugary sweetness of strawberries. And I think these will be absolutely excellent in oatmeal over the winter. And my vacuum sealer out. I did get some Food Saver bags that are resealable so that we can get into them, grab a few out, close them back up. I also have the accessory to be able to seal a mason jar with the vacuum sealer. So we're going to give that a shot with these strawberries. And then Mr. Brown was able to score another bushel of the Jonagold apples. So we're going to get those peeled and going in the pot for applesauce today. And then we also still have about 3/4 of the bacon to continue to try and get into slices and packaged up to get used throughout the year. So that's where I'm at for the morning. I will check in with you guys later. Alright, everybody. Round one is done. The strawberries are bagged up into their packaging. We have 2 of the vacuum sealed bags and then a vacuum sealed mason jar full of the dried strawberries. Like I said, those would be great in oatmeals and honestly quite anything that you would add strawberries to. You can add those to. You can add them to waffles, pancakes, things like that. Now we are on to round 2. We have the apples. I have that big bucket there. And then these 2 bags. Mr. Brown was able to find more of the Jonagolds. And we are just going to peel them right into the pot to make applesauce because seriously, y'all, that is the best applesauce I've ever tried. It almost has the cinnamon flavor to it without adding any cinnamon. It was absolutely delicious applesauce. And well, yes, we have a dozen jars of it. A dozen more will go and get eaten. So I'm going to get started on this. I'll check in with you guys later. Alright, so we've got all of 1 bag of apples and part of the other bag into the pot. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple cups of water to this just to get it started. Bryn took the big bowl of scraps out to feed to the chickens and the rabbits. The rabbits get some of the skins, and the chickens get all of it, skins, cores, whatever they want to peck at. But we're just kind of divvying them up between everybody so everybody gets a little treat. But there you go. That's how it looks before you start cooking it at all. We kind of missed that last time because I had to go do a couple of quick runs. But I'm going to get these on the stove and I'll check in with you guys later.
Well, this is where I've been this morning. I got all the doors cut, hung, latches made, gotten the hardware cloth secured. Well, it was secured last night, but only at the very bottom. Reinforced it a little bit and went a little higher up to keep it a little bit more structural. But I've gotten the front and the backs done. So I'm actually going to hold off on doing anything else to the actual cages at this point. Just because I don't want to start cutting holes here and there and, well, wind up messing up and having to try and mend or patch. So I'm going to move back to making boxes with the wood that Mr. Brown has cut for me. Cut. Which I actually have quite a bit to work with right now. But that's what I'm going to change gears and go after now. I still have to get the spots cut out for the feeders. I figure the water bottles are probably attached to the door. Just because, well, that's a convenient location. And I don't want to overcrowd one particular spot. But I'll figure that out once I get to the feeders themselves. But yeah, this is pretty much the extent of it at this point. Well, there is not very much video from me for the day. Honestly, this is what I've been doing. I finished off the attaching of the bottom for the rabbit cages, and then I've been working on building the other 3 boxes. It's pretty well consistent with the first one, but switched over and used Mr. Brown's recommendation and did the overlap. Tried to keep the openings all consistent. These ones are definitely heavier, but I was also using boards that are about twice the thickness. So, they should work pretty well for rabbit boxes. I am slightly concerned at the moment at the ease that they can be opened. So I'll have to figure out the best way to address that. So, yeah, that's, like I said, that's pretty much what I've been doing today. Okay. Well, for the next part of my day, I'm going to go through, get down some of the boards from up here so that we have them more easily accessible. And they will be part of the frameworking for the stall that will be getting added into the back end of the barn across from the chicken coop. It's not very well lit, so I'm gonna have to watch my step, but not a bad way to end things for the day. Well, this, and I gotta get some measurements of the area that Seth cleared. Start getting some ideas for the doors and how that's going to be enclosed as well. Losing a lot of time when it comes down to what needs done. But every step is a step in the right direction, I guess. Alright. Okay. So I've pulled 2 of the boards out at this point. This long one right here is just over 22 feet. Just barely. This one is much shorter. However, it is also much, much heavier. Of course, the rotting on that one probably helped that quite a bit. Probably only going to get a couple of slats out of it, and have to be very, very careful on this one. But these will be going toward the framework. There's another board up there. It's not quite as long, but it's almost twice the thickness. So, figure I'm probably gonna wait until I have Seth up here to give me a hand with that one, because reaching across this opening, trying to manage that kind of weight on my own, it's a little bit on the difficult side. But we might be able to set something up so that we can slide it back. That's what I had to do for the shorter one. but definitely easier with two of us trying to move something with that much weight behind it. Okay. I apologize for any of the dust you see floating around. I'm in here taking a look at all this because this area will be what's going to house a couple of pigs over the winter. This block is removable. The lower end of the stud work they put in is rotting. It's not actually attached to anything at the bottom, but that's easy enough to deal with. And then getting a measurement across and pretty much just boarding this end up. It'd be nice to have a door over here for easier access, but we'll probably just get boarded. That block is movable as well. Unfortunately, that thing probably weighs more than me. So, that's going to be more problematic. This wall probably, well, I don't know why I'm going with probably. I have a tape measure. Oh, 26 inches? That's providing I'm actually on the ground. There's still a little bit of debris right there. So that'll have to be addressed. I'll have to extend a little bit of framework out, come down to that and board that up. Probably mend this. That way I actually have something to secure to. And then I'm gonna have to figure out the door itself, how I want to go about that. If it swings out, then all that has to be cleared with enough room to actually get the door open. If it slides, then it'll be a matter of clearing along here, which will be problematic in itself because of the way the bricking overlays. But something to play with. We've been talking back and forth, off and on, about getting this system back in working order. Sure, we could run a hose here, and that's to catch the overflow, which, going by the way some of this is worn down, may not actually catch overflow so much as just dump it on the ground right here. That appears to be the drain pipe for it, and that hole over there in the wall is where the pipe is supposed to go out, which means somewhere between here and there the pipe ends. Or not. Okay, that's just a much larger hole than I thought it was. I'll take that as a plus. So, at some point I'm going to need to get down into the well and figure out what I'd need to try and get water going out here again. But I'm also going to have to pay attention when I do get that going to make sure that the bobber system actually works. It seems to. But if this has any kind of damage to it, then it's not going to work so well. But do that, get this cleared out, try and get some water going down here again. Definitely help with the chores, not having to lug water all over. But that's pretty much what I've been looking at for like the last 15 minutes, a little longer. Okay.
Alright everyone, so I forgot to close out the video last night. The applesauce wasn't done when it was time for bed, so I did go ahead and leave it on to simmer overnight. We'll get that jarred up today, and get working on the bacon some more today. But I just wanted to jump on, say have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next video.